Yes guys, welcome back to the channel. Here is the after patch top attacking medic tricks on FC24. So without wasting much time, let's jump into the video. Are you tired of matching up against overpowered squads? Visit u7buy.com for cheap and safe FC coins on the market. Remember to use the discount code DRFC for 6% off. Check the link in the description. Controlled sprint changed the way we play this game. I have never seen such overpowered mechanic on this game as this controlled sprint. So far, it's one of the most used trick to create chances on the game. Controlled sprint, to perform it you just simply hold the R1 or RB on your controller, then move the left analog to any direction you want your player to move to. Controlled sprint, your player moves with enough speed to keep up the momentum, but also with a close ball control. I personally like to use the controlled sprint in 3 effective ways. One is when the opponent expects me to pass the ball. This is so effective, that moment when you have an open pass inside or around the box, the opponent 90% if not 99% will focus on cutting that passing lane, so that's when I use the controlled sprint and dribble inside this, surprise the opponent. For example here, I pass the ball to my striker and I make a pass and move with my other striker, so I send this striker forward. As I control the ball, I know the opponent will track that running player, so here instead of passing the ball to this player, I decide to dribble towards the opponent's goal. But when I use the normal dribbling technique, I will be slow and the opponent will recover and handle the situation. But also if I sprint, my player will make heavy touches and I will be vulnerable to tackles. So the best option is the controlled sprint. I drive inside with speed, surprising the opponent and ending up scoring this goal. Another effective way is to open up passing lanes. I like using this trick just to change direction while driving forward, waiting for that perfect opening of the passing lane. And many times the opponent will focus on the ball holder, so when you get that opening, take that pass and punish the opponent. And most especially when driving down the byline, it's better to use controlled sprint in this scenario. And lastly, just to drive inside the opponent's box, I don't think sprinting into a crowded box is a good idea, but with controlled sprint you drive into the box and score. The NUTMEG FLAIR pass. This is the combination of a new skill move and either short pass or through pass. So when you perform this pass you have to press these buttons quickly. First of all, you have to learn how to perform the NUTMEG FLAIR skill move, where you hold both the L1 and R1, or LB and RB, at the same time holding the right analog to the direction you want your player to move to. This skill move is 4-star rated, and so you need 4 and above star skilled players in your team. Then the pass. As you press these buttons to perform the skill move, you don't wait until your player finishes the move then you pass. No, you press the pass button when your player begins the animation of the skill, aiming the left analog towards the player you want to pass the ball to. According to the way FC24 is hard, some tricks like ball roll and pass are no longer have that surprise effect. Everyone expects them and so it's easy to defend against. And that's when the NUTMEG FLAIR pass comes in. No one knows this trick, unless you who is watching this video, so it's easy to perform it against any opponent. The animation of the trick is a little bit faster than the ball roll pass. So the way I perform this trick, for example here, I pass the ball to my player inside the box. I see that I have this pass, but I can't directly turn and pass because I expect my opponent to anticipate that. So I first take my first touch into the space to bait the opponent that I'm moving forward. As you see, the opponent was ready to block this pass, but he realized that I'm moving forward instead, so he changes his plan and try to follow my player. Now everything is moving according to plans. I perform the skill pass to my striker Rushford, control the ball into the space and score. Next is the timed finishing. This technique is so effective and almost all pro players use it. Timed finishing, first of all you need to enable it in the settings. You press shot on your controller to load up the power, then wait until your player is about to strike the ball, then you tap it for the second time. And to know that you have timed perfectly, the icon of your player has to light green. This technique increases power and accuracy of the ball to hit the back of the net. There are some weird angles where it's hard to beat that goalkeeper if you use the normal shot, but if you time that shot well, you increase the power of that shot beating the goalkeeper and hit the back of the net. Ball roll scoop turn is one of the effective skilled moves I like using in FC24. It's a combination of 2 skills. 1 the ball roll and 2 the scoop turn. It's a 5-star skill move, so you need some 5-star skill rated players. To perform this skill move you hold the right stick analog 90 degrees to perform the ball roll. The moment your player begins the ball roll animation, you press both circle or B, plus X or A on your controller to complete the combo of ball roll into scoop turn, and to consistently pull out this skill you need to practice first, because this skill move you have to press these buttons very fast, so you have to train your fingers to react quick enough. This skill move works best when you're moving very fast and want to change direction. The animation is very fast, which gives no time for that defender to react to a change of speed and direction. You can use this skill move almost everywhere on the pitch, but I personally like to use it under pressure and to beat that defender. Another overpowered pass is the lobbed pass. Of course, under the cross section, crosses in FC24 are too overpowered, and the reason are these playstyles, for example whipped pass playstyle. Let's talk about 2 crossing scenarios. 1. The corner trick cross. If you haven't conceded this type of cross goals from the corner, then you're playing another football game, not FC24. To perform this corner trick you follow just 4 easy steps. Number 1, choosing the corner taker. You need a player with whipped pass playstyle, or even dead ball and long ball pass can work. Step 2, you need 2 players in your setup, and to call another player you tap on R1, the second player will be available. Step 3, create a crossing space. When you pass the ball to this player, you have to control the ball towards the byline. This tricks the opponent that you're driving through the byline, and so it drives his attention away from this player, then immediately turn and pass to that player. The last step is to pull out the cross. You have to control the ball. This is so important. In your game plan tactics, you need to increase your corner bars to 3 and above. This always sends one player to the far post. So when pulling out the cross, you aim towards the far post and hold square, or X on your controller, 3.5 bars of power, and lastly, it will be upon you to finish this beautiful goal. The reason why this pass works so effective, the opponent defenders tend to push towards the ball side when you play the corner shot, leaving a big space to the far post, so when you cross, many times you will find yourself with a free header or space to score your goal. Now this cross, if you see this card botcha, just wait for the worst to happen. When you run down the wing, take 1 second and look at the opposite side of the pitch. When you see your player running towards the goal, hold the square or X button, load up to 4 bars of power while aiming towards that player, and the cross will leave you speechless. To effective and consistently pull out those types of crosses, get yourself players with whipped pass playstyle, like this card has a playstyle plus. But even if you don't have those players with playstyle, it doesn't discourage you from pulling out the cross. For example, here I used Diaby with no any passing playstyle, but I managed to find my player inside the box and score. But one downside of this is consistency. Players with playstyles are more consistent in that action than players without. In FC24 all players are adapted to play on the wing, and it's proven to be one of the effective way to build up and create chances on the wing. Attacking fullbacks or involving your fullbacks in your attack sometimes will catch the opponent off guard, and it's so effective whereby the opponent can't even expect it. This is a planned move, meaning you have to send your fullback intentionally forward, then wait for a perfect moment and pass the ball to him. Or if you can't get that moment, then create it. Pass around just to drive the opponent's attention away from that running fullback, then get into a position where you can keep the ball safe, pull out the pass and attack. For example, here I pass the ball to my winger Son, control the ball safely and send my fullback forward using the L1 trigger. As the fullback begins his journey of sprinting forward, I pass the ball to my midfielder. My opponent was confused and he didn't know what to defend exactly, this running player or this midfielder. I play one touch through pass to the running fullback and sprint in behind, so this simple trick caught my opponent off guard, so I ended up scoring this goal. Stepovers is now one of the basic skill every player should be using while attacking. This skill is a 2-star rated skill, meaning it's performed by players with 2 stars and above. To perform this skill move you simply roll the right stick analog in front of your player, for example from the left to the right, or right to left. Then when your player begins the animation you point the left stick analog towards the direction you want that player to move to. So what are the best moments for scenarios suitable for this skill move? Number 1, I like to use this skill move when driving inside the box. When I get the opportunity around the opponent's box, I just need that little space to the targeted path, then I perform the skill move and leave the opponent's defender behind. 2 is to increase that speed boost, especially on the wing. Performing this skill move increases the acceleration speed of your player, and not only that, but sometimes I perform it just to beat the opponent's defender. That speed boost makes it easy for that player to beat that defender. One of the most overpowered shooting techniques in FC24 is the TRIVELA shot, as many players think that you only use it to score long-range goals, but inside the box it's very effective. TRIVELA shot, you press both the L2 plus circle, or LT plus B, and your player uses outside of his strong foot to curve the ball around the goalkeeper. There are some situations where you're in a position to strike the ball, but your player is on his weak foot. Shooting the ball using any player's weak foot, you have 60% chances of scoring. For example, here, I pass the ball to my striker inside the box. I position that player well to strike the ball, but this is a right-footed player, with a 4-star weak foot. So here I have like 60% chances of scoring using his weak foot, and the less weak the foot rate, the less chances of scoring using that player's weak foot. So here I strike the ball and goalkeeper saves it. And here is another example, not the same position as the first one, but the same logic applies here. I position my striker Rushford to face the opponent's goal, but he's in a position. If you use the normal shot, Rushford will use his weak foot to strike the ball, and he has a 3-star weak foot, so I have 50% chances of scoring this goal. But to increase my chances, I decide to use his strong foot to strike the ball, and that technique, according to positioning of my player, he can use the outside of his strong foot, so I use the TRIVELA shot and score. TRIVELA shot will make a big difference in the situations where your player is supposed to use his weak foot, and instead you use his strong foot and increase your chances of scoring that goal. Next is the finesse shot. Here you press both the R1 plus circle, or RB plus B on your controller. The player curves the ball around the goalkeeper using inside of his foot. Let's first focus on the overpowered side of this technique, of course scoring long-range goals. So to effectively and consistently score these types of goals, get a player with a finesse playstyle plus, or even the normal playstyle, but for consistent results, I recommend that playstyle plus, like Mohamed Salah, Son, Benzema, and many more. As any shooting technique, you need that open space in front, face the opponent's goal, but in a position where it's easier for your player to strike the ball and curve it, and so position your player diagonally. The next step is to load up some power. The power depends on the distance from the goal, but since it's a long-range strike, make it like 3 to 4 bars. Then lastly is to aim. You have to aim towards that far post angle, like for example, if you're on the left side, you aim towards the right side, and the right side you aim towards the left side. Scoring these types of goals in FC24 is so overpowered and consistent. Another way I personally tend to use the finesse shot in that one-on-one situations when the opponent drag his goalkeeper out of the goal. So here the logic to score more goals is so simple. When your player is on his strong foot, use the finesse shot to curve the ball around the goalkeeper, and if he's on his weak foot, then you use the TRIVELA shot. The number 3 overpowered pass is the lob-through pass. If you want to effectively improve your counter-attacking game, then you need to always implement this pass into your attack. The pass is overpowered and it's so consistent, meaning there's less room for errors. To pull out the pass, since it's a through pass, you need a pass receiver running into the space. And if you don't have, you can manually send your player forward by either using the pass and move technique, press both the L1 plus X or LB plus A. Your player, after passing the ball, he will run straight forward. Then we have the L1 trigger. You aim the left analog towards the player you want to send forward, then you tap on L1 or LB, and that player will definitely run straight forward. Then to pull out the pass, you need some space in front of the ball holder. Aim the left analog towards the running player, load up some power, 3 to 4 bars, and the ball will be directly sent towards your player. Use this pass to improve counterattacks and score many goals. The good thing about FC24, attacking mechanics are many and so overpowered, but still there's some limit in attacking, like building up through the middle. We can't talk about best attacking tricks and miss out the reverse Elastico, the untouchable skill move on the game. It's a 5-star rated skill move. This skill move is the most used skill inside the box, And to perform it, you roll the right stick analog from a non-dominant foot of your player, through his back, to his dominant foot, so to whatever player you're using with different foot strength, you have to consider this logic. I like to use this skill move just to beat that last defender and face the opponent's goal and score. The quick change of direction makes this skilled move difficult to defend on this game. You can spice up it by adding that stand still trick, where you press L1 or LB to stop the ball, then you immediately perform the reverse Elastico and beat that defender. Sometimes you have to beat that goalkeeper if the opponent pulls him out of the goal. Here in FC24 I personally have two techniques I use to beat the goalkeeper. The ball roll, though in last game's series it was not powerful as it is now. So here are steps to do it effectively. 1. Timing. Don't do it when your player is far away from the goalkeeper, and also don't be too close, so you need that 4 to 3 yards from the goalkeeper. 2 is the skill. The ball roll, you hold the right analog 90 degrees, and 3 is the direction to perform the skill to. The effective direction is the outside, then lastly is to strike the ball and score. I personally perform the skill move and immediately press the shot button and score. Then the shot cancel. This technique from the beginning of FC24 up to now, so far it's the coolest trick to perform on the game. To perform the shot cancel, you need to load up the power first, then when your player starts that shooting animation, you press both the L2 plus R2, or LT plus RT, and your player will cancel the shot. This trick works because that shot animation tricks the goalkeeper that your player is about to strike the ball and he will dive, and when you cancel it you leave him down. The reason why this trick is good, those weird angles tightly close to opponent's goalkeeper, where it's difficult to strike the ball to beat the goalkeeper, so here you use the shot cancel and score an empty net. Cutbacks in FC24 are so effective and the most common way of creating chances on the game. You just need to drive to the byline, look for a cutback and score. We have a dedicated video explaining how to attack through the wing. Check the link in the description. So that's it guys for today, thanks for watching.